Relax there, Sydney. And wiggle the toes. Nice, gotcha. Nice. And out. And one more. And out. There it is. Hey everybody, Dr. Tyler at Sioux Chiropractic here. I got Sydney, and she's got a little neck pain going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're feeling and
yeah, past couple days I've just been feeling like a pinch on the right side here. Now it's kind of transitioned to the left as well. But kind of just rotating away from the side that's bothering me is what causes the most pain. So then same on the left here.
And then you're getting some headaches too.
Yep. So if I bend over too much and then come back up, little pinch on the left side here and then a headache up through the temple.
Headache through the temple. Anything feel good on it? Like, is there anything that gives you relief?
If I like kind of dig in there with my fingers, feels a little bit better, but
A little better with a little light massage, but overall.
Otherwise, haven't tried very many other things. So.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just palpate the joints of Sydney's neck. Are you getting anything in like the upper back or like traps area, or is it all pretty local to your neck? Pretty
local to the neck. I feel like my traps are usually pretty tight, but they're not really bothering me right now.
Okay, we're gonna assess her and get to work. Sound good? We'll palpate the joints. I'm actually gonna have you bring your hands behind your head first, like this, and bring your elbows together. And then just go ahead and lean forward onto my forearm, and I'm just gonna challenge the joints by pushing here. And we'll start in that mid-thoracic spine and work our way up. Is any of that sore or tender? I'm feeling just a little bit of restriction in that kind of mid to lower thoracic. Is that tender? Or did you feel like
a tiny bit
restricted at all?
Yeah.
So then we'll get a little bit into the CT junction. So just going to kind of bring you to the left. All right. Any of that uncomfortable?
Just where your hand's pressing right here. Tight.
All right. Yeah,
right there on the left.
You're not moving much at C1, C2 on her left upper cervical spine is super jammed. A little harder going right or left?
Yeah, now, like I said yesterday, it was more the right. Now today it's the left, so looking to the right is what's bothering me the most.
Go back and tilt you up. Yeah. Not great going that way. Okay. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of glide in the occipital region. Is that painful or uncomfortable?
No.
And how about here?
No.
Not bad? All right. Got a little tension going on here in trap levator, so just to make the adjustment a little less restrictive for you, I'm going to loosen that up for a couple passes through this region, and then we'll get you on your back, do a little bit in the neck before we adjust and retest. Sounds good? All right. So you're going to help me out here. You're going to kind of shrug your shoulder up towards me, and then I'm going to contact that muscle. I'm going to try to get your hair out of the way, and then we're going to reach down into your left hip and keep reaching, and then look down to your left hip and really try to flex your neck forward. You feel like kind of good pull there? Okay, come back up, and then we'll do the same thing, a couple more passes. So shrug it up and then shrug it down, and then to the left hip, chin to the left hip. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good hurt?
Yep.
Tell me if it's too much.
Nope, it's good.
Here we go. Sydney is our new athletic trainer at Sioux Chiropractic, so she's used to working on patients and comes from a college athletic training background, so keeping athletes on the court or on the field. Try to work on everybody here in the office, myself included. I don't always do it as much as I should, but there we go. All right, then we'll do this side. Same thing, shrug the shoulder up and then down to the right hip, all the way. And back up, straight down, and reach across, chin down. This side better or worse?
A little worse.
Are you feeling more of the tension where my contact is, or are you feeling it like in that upper neck?
Oh, where your finger is.
Good. What I'm feeling under my finger, when we get on muscles that are not sliding over one another like they should, people get knots or adhesions in those muscles, and I get a lot of resistance as she's going through that full range of shortening and lengthening the muscle. So I'm just trying to kind of help that glide a little bit better before we do our adjustment. And then relax. And then I'm going to have you go ahead and lay on your back, and we'll do a little bit in that, more in that upper neck before we adjust you. Alright. So you're just going to feel a little pull here. Are you alright?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You feel like it gets a little worse as the day goes on?
Yeah, definitely. At night,
Nighttime.
kind of locks up a little bit more.
Side sleeper, back sleeper, stomach sleeper?
Side.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Side's not bad. If you were going to say stomach sleeper, I was going to have a talking with you. But
I do sleep on my side, but like also my stomach at
like
the same time, I guess. Yeah.
That's not as bad. One thing we always talk about with patients is usually a lot of patients come in here and they say I slept wrong or slept funny, but it's usually not the sleep that does it. It's more or less if we have these imbalances or restrictions going to bed at night. I use the analogy, if your road that you're driving on is a lot more narrow because you got lack of function or movement in certain joints, then if you get into an awkward position while you're sleeping, it doesn't take much for you to hit the median or to go into the ditch. If the things are moving better, joints are moving better, muscles are looser, everything's doing its job, you're going to have a larger road to drive on, and you got more flexibility of having a night where you sleep kind of funny, or even if you sleep on your stomach regularly. If you're moving well throughout the day, it's not as big of a deal, but a lot of us are on our phones or we're doing stuff on the computer or whatnot, and kind of feeds into those imbalances. So that's why it's good to get tuned up. All right, so I want to get that left side first, and I'm just going to have you relax your head. I'll do all the work, and when I tell you, kind of wiggle your toes. That'll just help you relax a little bit more, okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to take you over to the left and just let that relax here, Sydney, and wiggle the toes. Nice. Is that okay? And then I'll go a little lower on the right. Same thing. Wiggle the toes. Just let your head relax. I got you. Nice. So then I'll go recheck where we adjusted. Might be sore, but I'm feeling for the joint pliability, and I'm just getting a lot less resistance with that. Does that feel similar to you?
Yeah, definitely.
She was getting more, she had more restriction in that left upper cervical spine, and then she was getting kind of headaches at the occipital level of that left side of the neck, and then that was traveling kind of into the temporal region. So that's not unusual when we're dealing with the patients that's having cervicogenic headaches. Obviously we use manipulation, we do some active stretching over those muscles. Deep neck flexor activation is going to help Sydney with pulling the neck and head over the shoulders and loosening up and letting the upper trapezius kind of relax, because right now that's been on overdrive on her, which is why we worked that out before we adjusted. And then we like to work a lot of the scapular stabilizers with our neck and headache patients, because as we get into these rounded positions throughout the day, those guys just tend to get stretched out, and then we get those trigger points in those regions because your body's just trying to stabilize. And then these upper traps, levator scap, and suboccipital muscles, they don't really get a break. And then that's where it just, as the day goes, people start getting more and more tension in there, and that brings on the headache, and then we just chase our tail. So at our office, we use multiple treatments to attack that and get people well. I'm also going to adjust your thoracic spine and that mid and upper thoracic. So I'm going to have you sit up real quick, and then I'm going to just have you slide down a little further, and I'm going to put this A to P board under you, lay on your back again. There we go. And then you're just going to cross elbow over elbow like so. And then I'm going to be right here. Take a deep breath when I tell you and let it out, okay? Deep breath in and out. more. And out. There it is. Good. Back up. Okay. And then swing around. There you go. And then lean forward onto my arm. I got you. Oh yeah. A lot more bounce in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can relax, and then I'll feel the neck, and we'll have you turn that afterwards. Just let that go. Is that less tender?
Yeah.
There's still a little limitation over here on the
Yep.
left side, but go ahead and turn it left and right on your own, and just see what you're feeling there.
Yeah, feels a lot better.
And then
a lot more range.
A lot more range.
Yep.
A little smoother glide.
Yep.
Then chin to chest, and then look up at the ceiling. How's that feel?
Good.
So, got her tuned up. We'll stay on top of that here over the next few days and make sure that's all resolving. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave us a comment below, and we look forward to seeing you soon.